Welcome, my witches. Happy Samhain to you. Blessed, blessed Samhain. Take the drums down a bit. Let me know if the sound balance is all right for you, please. Welcome to you. Thank you so much for clicking and showing up tonight. You're awesome on this Samhain night. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're new here, I'm Luna. And please check in with chat. If you're a brand new subscriber, it's subscribers only on the chat, but you only have to be a subscriber for 1 minute before the chat will let you in. So do please check in and say hi. I've got a rush of energy, so I'm going to be tripping over my words. Hello, Becca. Hello, Roxanne. Hello, Capricorn Moon. I don't remember your name, dear. Hello, Catherine. Hello, Donna. Really happy to have you here. Oh, thank you, dear. Good. I'm glad the sound is good. Hello, Gypsy Heart Tarot. Samhain blessings to you, too. So, yeah, I have a beautiful silver gown. I may have worn it once upon a time on a video or two. Hello, Nicole. Welcome to you all. And I would love to have worn it under this tonight, but turns out it doesn't fit anymore, since just in the last year of this pandemic, I gained back all the weight that I lost before the pandemic. Show of hands. For any in the similar position, whoops, wait a minute, there we go. You don't need to hear me twice. And I know I won't be able to stay with this for long, because you know how that is. It gets to you. Plus, as soon as I start reading, I heat up. So we're going to be shedding layers, but I thought I had to show up in some finery, you know? So Pyewacket was very, actually, here, I'll show you the hat I started with before I decided to go with the robe and all. There it is, my friends. Pyewacket was very, very confused when I put this on. He did the coming up to me looking all concerned. Him did a concern. And I think what he really wanted was the feathers that are on it. So yes, this is the big witch hat. This is the witch hat you cannot wear in a car. So, hello, Tavia. Welcome, sweetie. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. Yeah, the weight regain. I think we all did it, you know, and who could blame us? So, no guilt for any of it, except that I had a couple of rude shocks because my black summer dress, too, went to put it on this summer and nope. It said nope. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, isn't it though? I'm trying to remember where I even got it. I don't remember, but it's a good one. I love it a lot. And the silver one I made, this robe I made, the silver one I made for my Hogwarts days. And this has got the big sleeves, and I did this part so that I could draw them up or make them long as I choose. There's Darcy. I was just turning to say I'm waiting for Darcy, and hopefully Samantha will be here too. Laura, yay, welcome. Welcome. And Darcy, my darling, you are oh so welcome. So let's see. Housekeeping. First of all, I toast you. Blessed Samhain. Spiced cider. You may have noticed, or you may not have noticed, the video that I put up on Friday, I have taken down. And another video along with it. And those two videos are the Manara Oracle, Erotic Oracle, and the Manara Tarot. And I had kind of forgotten about my experience with the Tarot, because I unboxed that one a while ago. And this one, what it brought home to me is that this pandemic has, while it has fluffed me out, and maybe that fluffing out helped this, is I've gotten a lot of my corners knocked off and my edges knocked off. And if you watched that video from Friday, I sat looking at this deck, and I'm just like, and when the worst image in the deck came up, all I could say was like, yikes, and just go. The reason I have taken those decks down is because they no longer qualify as erotic. Maybe they do in some camps, but not in the empowered women camps. They are very, they're misogynistic decks, and I don't like them, and violent and rapey decks in some instances. So I decided those are not going to be on my channel anymore. I cannot recommend them to anyone, and, you know, I will save space certainly for true erotic decks. Absolutely. As I said in the video on Friday, I would love to see a deck that has maybe, you know, one of the suits is hetero and one of the suits is homosexual and one of the suits is pansexual and asexual, you know, it's done with a sex positive, healthy attitude, and those Manara decks are not it. And I'm so, it upsets me, so I'm sitting here tearing at my thumb while I'm talking about that. And so this brings me to another, hello, Silver Spiral. I thought you were here. No, that was Capricorn Moon. That's Catherine. Sorry, Capricorn Moon. I called you Catherine, I think. At any rate, let me get myself back on track here. And it's pertinent that I'm kind of off track. My hat is hitting my microphone, so I'll wear it for another couple minutes and then it's going off. This Samhain, I am celebrating the confirmation of a diagnosis of autism. Yeah, baby, 64 years old. It's never too late to find out how you work, right? So thanks to my kids who have been researching for themselves. And it really is difficult to get diagnosed as an adult. But it is, I have not gotten this diagnosis from a doctor or a counselor or anything. I have just done enough reading and listening, and that it's confirmed. All the things, yeah, it works. So I'm celebrating that. And the confirmation is that I am just as fucking weird as I have always felt. It's very validating. And the other thing is, if you've ever done Myers-Briggs, the MBTI type index, I think it is Myers-Briggs type index, but it's a personality index, and it's an amazing thing. And I am an INFJ in that system, which shows up in 1 to 2% of the population of human beings. So, again, validation that I am as weird as I have always felt, and it makes me feel better, because it's like, you know, it's not anybody's fault. It's just, I am that weird. As I sit here, dressed as a witch on YouTube, about to do Samhain ritual and read tarot cards and oracle cards and shit. No, that's not weird. Okay. Thank you, Roxanne. Yeah, they were right. Tavia, exactly. Old stereotype misogyny, or old stereotype erotica, you know? Men's erotica. They are men's decks, and they're men's toxic men's decks. Not all of it, but the ones that popped up that were toxic and taken as a whole, they absolutely are. The tarot was a little bit better. But anyway, yeah. So off they go. Now, that's better. 10 degrees cooler already. Now we'll see how long I can last in the robe. Let's take a look at what's on the altar tonight. So before I do that, expect disjointedness tonight. Just expect it, but I'll do my best. Samhain, you guys are all regulars, but for anybody that is new, anybody that might be watching this as a video after the fact and hasn't seen stuff on my channel before, Samhain is the festival of death. It celebrates death, and as a pagan and a witch, death is just another part of that wheel. And so every single part of that wheel is to be celebrated. And in a death-denying culture, it can be difficult to get to the point of, okay, I really feel I can celebrate this. I've been pagan for a hell of a long time, so it feels natural to me. And as a Plutonian, I was always bent that way. Fascination with, what is death and dying about, and how does, this full wheel work? Our culture mainly lets us see the, the daylight part of the wheel, and we don't dive into the dark, because that has been something that was called evil by this death-denying, predominantly Judeo-Christian culture of the West, the white West. So, so Samhain is about celebrating death and looking at its place in your life and looking at where you are in that cycle of things when you're confronted with death. So the empowered place, and what I want you to start thinking about for tonight, you can grab a couple pieces of paper. They don't have to be very big. And if you have something like rice paper or natural paper, so much the better. If you don't, it's okay. And I want you to start thinking about what it is in your life that is ready to go into the grave. What in your life over this past year has become absolutely dead, and you have acknowledged this and you are willing to let it go into the grave. And then when death happens, there is a void. And this is the purpose of death. This is why there's death on the wheel. You know, it's just a natural thing, but it makes room for life. If you think about where we would be if no one ever died or nothing ever died, first of all, nobody could eat. But there would be, we would have overrun this planet many times worse than we have already. And so death clears the way for new life. And you know that nature abhors a vacuum. So whenever you make you put something into the grave, there's a vacuum there that wants to be filled. So the other side of this wheel at Samhain is, what is it you would like to intentionally bring in to fill that void? What are you going to replace it with? So think about those two things. And then we'll talk about, you know, a working to do. Okay. Here is this gorgeous scrying mirror that was a gift from my beautiful Darcy. So tonight, once I'm done with the live, I will be going down to where I have my ancestor altar set up downstairs, and I will be doing some scrying. I will be doing some journeying and adventuring. But I wanted to bring this here as a symbol, and you know, you can see it is glass. You can see a reflection in it. You know, if I tip it up this way, you can see my camera. But what it presents to you like this, and see, I couldn't scry in it looking as I'm looking now because I can see things reflected in it, and that ruins it because it gives you a surface to focus on. But the way you guys are seeing it, this is kind of a black hole, right? You can't see, you know, you can see a surface here, and that might sort of translate to the surface here, but it confuses the mind and throws you into a mental frequency called theta, which is wide open. It's trance state. It opens the gate to the right brain, to the unconscious, to the subconscious, and that's where the pictures come from. So, okay, time for the robe to come off. I did as best I could. So let's just start with a getting ready. So please, please, if you have sage, if you have something that is your cleansing smoke, sage or Palo Santo, thank you, Roxanne. So here is some sage. I offer you this blessing of air and fire. May by air, may you be purified. And this space and our intentions and the year to come and the grave site that we're preparing, and by fire, may you be charged, and this space. So mote it be. by earth and water. I give you blessings by water. May you be blessed, and may the earth make you whole. So mote it be. May the sound of the bell clear the space around you as we bring in the element of spirit. May the air around you align. May all negativity be banished. And may our focus be clear and our intent. And as always, and most especially on this Samhain night, settle into the body. We invite in our ancestors. See behind you that long, long, long line stretching back to the beginning. That line of people behind you, the line of mothers and fathers, in the millions standing behind you, all of whom have poured their love, their energy, their existence into you. Step into the place of being conscious of them. Let them know that you are aware and that you are open. We are here to receive messages. We are here to honor you. We are here to complete contracts. We are here to bless you. And we ask your blessings in return. We invite you to the party. So mote it be. I offer you fresh water. And I offer you the fire of Azrael, so that our communication may be clear and loving and informative and fun and very, very special on this Samhain night. Now, here's where the plan gets very loose. I do have 6 decks over here, but we're not doing it like we usually do. And the very first deck is not up to the little red die. And that is the Sacred Hags deck. So I'm going to invite the Sacred Hags in now, and we will see who wants to come forward. Now I have the deck separated into its 4 categories, which are seasons, hags, stories, and spells. So we're going to start by working with this deck, and then we'll see how many others we're going to go to, because we could just go down a rabbit hole here, and I am completely open to that. This is why when you're getting set to do magic of any kind, but especially if you're looking for big magic, make sure you leave big holes in the plan. Otherwise, the magic can't get through. It's wonderful to have a plan that is sewn up tight. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. It's a very valuable thing that people know what to expect and what they're doing, and when a group feels comfortable like that, you know, the magic is abundant. And you got to make sure to leave a hole somewhere in that plan. Usually the hole is left after you raise energy or while you raise energy, and when you're doing your working, you leave the hole. But my whole plant is a big hole, so and that's not true. All right, so I think I'm going to move the scrying mirror so we have room. There's a... All right, I'm going to put it back here with my special feasty treat. I've got my thame and my crystal wand here. So let's go first of all to the seasons. And I did not include all of the cards of the seasons because there are cards that are for, dead of winter and spring and summer. And so I only chose the ones that were pertinent to this season. I need to see who's texting me here. It's my kids. Of course it's my kids. I just wanted to make sure, I am living, this is the other thing I wanted to say to you. I'm living dangerously tonight. I have my browser open. I have my iTunes running the way I always did before. If something hangs up, I will just shut the extraneous things and we should be fine. But I am trusting. I'm trusting that all will be just totally great. Oh, goodness. No, darling. No. Stop. Stop, darling. No. I want to... I don't know what's going on here. It won't... all right. Here's what we're doing. This is what we're doing. I was hearing myself because I put I opened my browser and the stream on my phone just in case. I have to jump over there if something's going on. So anyway, here we go. So I took out the seasons that were not pertinent to Samhain season. All these cards have something to do with this time of year. So that's the one we're going to start with and it came straight out the deck here. It was the first one I picked out and I was just going to go with that. And I thought, no, we'll include some others. And tell me how appropriate this one is. This is the season of orphaned dreams. So when we were talking about something that is ready to go into the grave, this is part of that category. So an orphaned dream, think about that. That can mean a range of things. It can mean that, I couldn't make it work, that we couldn't find the resources, I'm ready to let it go. Or it could mean I abandoned it. I didn't give it the care and feeding that it required. So the first thing we have to do here is look at which dreams we are invested in and which ones we aren't. So which are we ready to let go of, to put into the grave, to thank them for the role that they've played? Dreams move us from where we are, and if we're stagnated and we get enthused and inspired and have a dream, it can pull us forward. And if we then get to a place where we say, you know what, this isn't what I thought it would be, this is no longer my dream, it doesn't mean all of that effort was a waste. Nothing is a waste. So, if you can at least acknowledge that my understanding is different than when I first had the dream, which says I've grown in some way. So let's look at this card. And again, keep thinking about what it is you're ready to let go of. The key word for this card is harvest. Here we are. This is the Samhain card in the deck. The other ones have to do with, death and stuff like that, and the shadow and things, but this is the Samhain card. Grandmother speaks. Whatever part of your world feels now as if it is drying out, as if it is nearing the end of its days, is in the autumn of its life cycle. We can choose to be struck down by our resistance to change and stunned into stillness by our losses, or we can choose to grieve well, to honor what is leaving us. We can cry. We can share stories. If we feel called, we can offer thanks for having been graced with the lessons offered, trusting that grief and gratitude are the sisters of the healthy heart. grief and gratitude. What leaves you now? What is exhaling to make room for the next breath, that void? Harvest your grief now. Bow down to it. Let it touch the tenderest places within you and remind you that your heart still beats even now, even during this season of orphaned dreams. Okay. And the moonlight ritual, I'm going to read this. Here's the intro. If we find ourselves living in a perpetual summer, death denying, with every aspect of our lives marked by overgrowing fruition, we feel swollen. We have no room to breathe, pressured from all angles and attending to too many demands. We need to notice when something is waning, whether it is a role we once played so well or a way of being in the world that no longer feeds us. If nothing else is leaving you tonight, at least the day surely is. Speak these words of release before you sink into sleep, either to some specific aspect of yourself undergoing a waning transition or to the day itself. And I would suggest when you go to bed, you can turn the video back to this time. I don't know if I'll do timestamps, probably not. But you can find this spot again and replay this and repeat the words to yourself. And welcome, Sarenka, and happy Samhain to you. Thank you so much for being here. And Natalie, welcome, Natalie, from the Beltane side of the world. Okay, so here are the words. So just for a moment, call into mind what is waning in your life. Acknowledge it, just frame it. You don't have to think about it, just frame it. To you, that which is softly falling into a bed of drying leaves and rotting fruit, I shall sing your soul home. I shall harvest the story that was yours and let it warm my heart now, in this moment, for you have surely shaped this witch. My heart aches for having held you as long as I did, and my soul just might be better because of the spells you cast on this holy day. To you, whose death is kissed by moonlight, I ask you, haunt me well, but not long. I'm befriending your loss, even now, and I'm letting grief be my teacher. My dreams tonight may well be of you, but I know that dream-crafting hag who weaves me the best medicinal tapestry while I sleep will heal some forgotten sadness, will swaddle some of my sorrow in her magical web, and I will find your memory in the shadowy places. So, not knowing this card was going to come out, that's exactly the frame of tonight. And is anybody surprised? No, we're not. The words here that really touched me, I ask that you haunt me well, but not long. This is processing. That haunting is processing. When we've let go of something, particularly processing out the false messages that we may have absorbed by letting go of a dream or a dream vacating us, is, you know, the words failure, I'm just not good enough, all of those negative messages, those are the haunting. So those are the things that are coming to you to be grieved, to be let go of by this process of whatever it is waning in your life. And I love, I'm befriending your loss. Because when loss is in your life, it's in your life. It's there. Do we need to make it worse by making it an enemy? Or can we befriend it and find out, get all the juice, all the lessons that come from it? So there's the letting go. Now we are going to look at which hag would like to be our goddess tonight. So I'm going to take just a moment here to bless the guardians of air and thank them for their presence here. And bless the guardians of the south. I bless your presence here. The guardians of the west, blessed be and welcome here. And the guardians of the north, blessings upon you and welcome here. And now, let's look at the form of the divine that wants to manifest to us tonight. Reach out with your mind, open up, become the vessel, call her in. And there she is. She is the hag of the oak grove. Can you see all the oak leaves around here? You might not see all of them. There are some mighty, mighty oak leaves. Big, big, glorious oak leaves here. Let's, in a minute, why I'm trying to keep these separate, I don't know. Let me see. Here's another one. Look at these big, beautiful oak leaves. And she is the hag of the oak grove. And her keyword is knowledge. Grandmother speaks. Why so somber, beloved? Why so serious? There is much joy in all your wisdom, is there not? Why, just think of all you know, all the completed and colorful jigsaw puzzles you keep stored inside that grand cathedral of soul you have been building for lifetimes upon lifetimes. Knowledge does not equate to bitterness. The more you know, the less certain you are of yourself, of this world, of humanity's place in the grand and swirling cosmic design. Sometimes you know so much, all you can do is let your belly wobble in laughter. Go on, cackle for me. All knowledge is available to you now. You already know the answer. Stop taking yourself so seriously and go commune with an oak tree. Those old wise doorways to all that is, to all that might be, have been watching the strange animals called humans for millennia. After all, and they know a thing or two about spiritual maturity. Think of how much wisdom there is in a genuine, unperformed laugh. Then let yourself, your soul, be amused by this world of ours, if only for a fleeting and blessed moment. So it talks about knowledge here, but she's talking about joy and laughter and reveling in that knowledge and not turning it to cynicism and letting yourself cackle and letting your belly wobble with all of its regained fat. Okay, so here is the moonlight ritual. In this deck, there is a morning ritual and a moonlight ritual. I hope I didn't blow anybody's ears off there. Let me catch up a little bit. Sherry, welcome, darling. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tavia says, my mom's thank you was to Cancer for showing her what was truly important in her life. Thank you, and you can go now. It was so powerful. Wow. Thank you, Tavia. So here we are to befriend our loss and to do it knowing that from that loss we have a lot of knowledge to gather, and that knowledge is joyful. Okay, the moonlight ritual is body prayer to the oak hag. Swaddled in solitude, stand and begin to sway slowly from side to side. If you can do this now, do it. Breathe. Stretch your arms long and wide. Spread your fingers. Soften your knees and root down through the bones of your feet. Yes, you should do at least this now because we didn't do a grounding. Call to mind the image of a grand oak living and growing behind you, gracing this moment with a deep and earthen wisdom that comforts you, that brings you a sense of belonging. And remember that they say that the roots of an oak tree go down as far as the oak is tall. Take a small step backward when you feel ready and mesh with the spirit of the oak. Your arms become branches, your fingers soften and feather into leaves. The bones of your legs and your toes are nested in loamy dirt, spreading out in all directions, like veins searching for their mother heart. You are all, you know all, you are all, you know all. So there's our grounding. Feel yourself standing and swaying, not too much because oak trees are pretty strong. Stretch out your arms. Stretch out your fingers. Feel the leaves. And then imagine the oak behind you. And take a step back. And immediately feel the roots going down from your feet. And feel the power of that tree reaching up to your fingertips. I am all. I know all. I am all. I know all. And the oak was the doorway to knowledge for the Druids. Okay. Now, all right, Becca, a huge old oak door. Wow. I need a sip. Next, we have the stories. So, what story wants to present itself to us tonight? What story do we as a group, as a collective, as women of consciousness and women of action and compassion? May I have one, please? Marcy, you made it, sweetie. I'm so glad you're here. We have a dead oak that is leaning into the beech tree right behind our house. And the bottom is starting to split. So if the crotch of that beech doesn't hold it, it will not be held up anymore. And I ask and I give gratitude in advance for this blessing, that when it goes in a direction that harms none. That in fact creates habitat. There we go. Thank you for just one. She is the storyteller's jewels. Let's put her up here in the frame to begin with. Hot cider and pumpkin bread. Oh, Bug made some pumpkin bread for Saturday and it was amazing. All right, this is number 32. The Storyteller's Jewels is about old tales. Grandmother speaks. We house 1,000,001 stories in our hearts, my love. Tell me, if you were to leave this world forever today, never having told that one story you were destined to tell, would your spirit wander, searching for the hungry ears of sleeping witches to whisper your words into? How would it feel to write this story today, to share it, if only with those loving ghosts who know you best? Such a vicious lie is it that our stories are too small to matter, that if the epic myths of our lives do not end in a sword-raised victory, we may as well keep our lips sealed. You've earned every lesson you might teach, my love, so why would you not share your voice with the world? And this is carrying on, too. I mean, it's talking about the ghosts, which we're here to honor tonight. And that if you don't end in victory, it doesn't mean you don't have a story or that it's a bad story. You probably have more stories than if you were victorious. So we're back to the place of abandoned dreams. And looking at, with our knowledge and our strength of oak, tapping into that knowledge and then telling the stories for those that come after. The moonlight ritual is speaking story. The darkness holds stories better than the light. In a shadow-filled room, or better, outdoors in nature lit only by the moon and stars, close your eyes. Breathe. Imagine there's a storytelling crone dancing atop your heart now. Let her climb your tongue, whisper chanting, once upon a time, once upon a time, once upon a time. So soon she reaches your lips and a story spontaneously spills from your mouth. You do not own this story, whatever it is. This tale belongs to the dark, to the night. Let it be your gift to the indigo sky. This story is the place where the night will meet you and meet you well. Oh my, I love this deck so much. Your sleepy witch inside you. Good. Wake up, witch. We need you. We need all of you. Marcy, thank you so much. You and Natalie are holding down the balance on the other side of the wheel. You are in the life part. So you're in Beltane, so maybe think about, the life that is coming forth from what died last Samhain. It's still pertinent. You're on the same wheel, darling. Okay. Now the last group is the spells. Let me put the book over here, not on top of you. So, which spell do we need tonight, please? Which spell do we need tonight? I'm going to keep going till it comes. I should have taken that one. Oh well. Come on, give us a jumper. Oop. Two fell out. Oh dear. Okay, we'll take them, both of them. This one came out earlier when I was talking to the decks. This one is pagan poetry. Wild words. Following on the story here. You have the look of a poet, my love. There are times in our lives when our only medicine is to take to the page and pour out our ache as ink, our pain as poetry. You are full of heathen stories. I know it. In case you didn't get the message from the storytellers, Jules, hear it again. You are full of heathen stories. Just for today, be your soul's scribe. Imagine a poem as an entity, brilliant, indigo, and shining, behind you. Invite it to step into your body and vow to write the words that come. Let the language wrap around your bones and animate your fingers. Let mythic imagery drip from your pen. Surrender to the wild word. This is an amazing thing to do when you're scrying. Get into trance, dance yourself there, have a cocktail, do some drumming, do some scrying, and when it starts to flow, take up a pen and a piece of paper and just let it pour out. Moonlight ritual is night spells of the word witch, and I love the continuity here. As the sun sets and that heathen moon rises, become a word witch. Begin to enchant the yet to come with your language. Take to your journal and become aware of the moon phase. Whatever part of the lunar cycle houses your world right now, we are on the half moon, or coming up to the half moon. Whatever part of the lunar cycle houses your world right now, ask yourself what you desire for yourself within 1 month's time. Imagine now that the moon is in this precise phase, but in 29 days' time. See yourself beneath that moon. So it's a waxing moon. Feel the feeling of a desire fulfilled, and begin to describe yourself in this moment that is yet to come. You may use the prompts I offer here or create your own, but do use the present tense as if this moment is already upon you. So here's where we write the spell completed. Here's where we imagine what is here to fill the void once we put what is dead into its grave. Here are some prompts for you. I am here beneath a moon that looks like. By the light of this moon, I see. I can hear. Suddenly I taste. I am touching. This night smells of. And I remember a night much like this one when I was. Now beneath this wild moon I am. Go with that one, because we're imagining a month on, but the fulfillment of the spell that you start tonight. So now beneath this wild moon I am, and tell us what you have manifested. That is the spell that you're writing tonight. Time travel. Witches can do that shit. Marcy, where are you from? Is it Ecuador? Is it Venezuela? I forget. I'm terrible. And check in from South Australia. Natalie, I hope that you are safe from all of the flooding and stuff that's been going on again down there. Whew. Okay. And if you're in the chat, just for shits and giggles, check in and say where you're from, because that helps. It helps people. Now, the second one here is called Feeling Flesh. And it is one that I think is desperately needed. It came out when I asked this deck if it would like to come. Buenos Argentina. Wow, you are down. Okay. I don't know why I thought you were up at the top. So, Feeling Flesh is about embodiment. So here's the end of all the working. And looky, the fifth card came because we have room for it. But we put it, all right. So this is the end of the spell, is the embodiment. That's what manifestation is. Manifestation is about something becoming material. I can put my hand to it, right? Grandmother speaks. Roll your tongue along the roof of your mouth, beloved. Trace a symbol of infinity on the soft pink of your palate and breathe deeply. Feel at home in your skin. We learn so early to distrust our emotions and discount our bodies, but from today forward, let us commit to trusting our feeling flesh. Our bodies know what will nourish us, yet we sometimes fall out of sync with our own bones and blood. We sometimes must relearn the language the body speaks, and this requires a fierce respect for our animal nature. The moonlight ritual is bedtime prayer. Did you hear Beltane come out? Bedtime prayer of the star-bodied witch. Read these words aloud, bathed in moonlight and full of feeling. These bones of mine are built from star stuff. Tonight, while I sleep, I shall return to the realm of the spiral dancing galaxies, for they are my kin. I shall wash myself in the waters of alien worlds and warm myself at the hearth of the sun. If these celestial orbs that spin around me are holy, then surely my body is hallowed ground. They are me, these cosmic bodies, and I am a child in orbit around an ancient god called space-time. May my dreams be of dark matter mysteries I cannot yet name. So I love that we end, even though we're talking about embodiment, it's not talking about the external, it's talking about the internal. Feeling our flesh and listening to it and connecting with the animal self. So another wonderful thing to do on Samhain is a keening or a howling. Go out and howl at the moon. Don't give a shit what people think. Do it late when everybody's in bed. Let them wonder. And when their dogs go off. Samantha, darling, you're here. I'm so happy. All right, I'm checking in. Buenos Aires. South Carolina. Oh, wow, Natalie, we're so out of balance. I hope you stay safe, dear, and I hope things come back into balance. From Erie, Mississauga, and Kaskaskia land. Wow, Cleveland. I love it. The Erie, the Mississauga, and the Kaskaskia land, known as Cleveland. Those tribes that are no longer. Okay, Los Angeles. Baby Joe, welcome, darling. You are a Radia. Oh, Samantha, I'm so happy you made it. Blessed Samhain, sweetheart. Oh, yes, I agree with you, Laura. The author of this deck, it's incredible. The whole thing is poetry. It is an amazing, amazing tool. Yep, Catherine, I agree. It's such a good one. Needed an hour and a half. You know, that last card about listening to your body, there you go. You done it. You done it, darling. All right. I'm going to move these to the side. And I would like you to get a piece of paper. All right. I think I'm going to keep these over here just in case we need a reference. I'm going to have to move some tools as well. The dame and the crystal wand. All right. So get a piece of paper, and I want you to think, yes, Laura, I heartily agree with you. A small group here from all over the globe. Yes, I know. It's incredible. I want to know where Serenka's from. Where are you checking in from, Serenka? Oh, we love you too, sweetie. And yes, you'll back up and watch it when it's done. And yeah, 26. Awesome number. All right. So get your paper. We did this spell work last night, and I'll tell you what's even more fun. If you can ever find flash paper, sometimes in magic shops, not MAGICK, but magic, hocus pocus shops, you can buy flash paper, and those are excellent to do this work on. So what you will write on one paper, and you can just put your intent there and finish this up later. You don't have to do it now. But I will give you some energy. We will infuse it with energy now, and then you can complete it in your own time, so you can take your time. New York Metro. Wow. Okay. Yes, I love my crystal wand too. So on this paper, and first of all, I want you to think, recall again to mind something that is waning, something that is dying or dead in your life, or something that's lingering that you need to put out of its misery. Put it out of your misery. So think about think about that. And then you can boil it down to, you can sit and write a full page if you want to. This is entirely up to you. There's no wrong way to do it. It's your magic. Or you can boil it down to a phrase that you can chant. You can boil it down to a few words or even one word, or even just hold it between your palms and let what's in you, in your head, flow down your arms and into that paper. Feel it flowing there. Feel the sureness of knowing that energy is in this paper. This is now the container. This is the coffin to hold the thing that is going into the grave. What I have here is some Vesta powder. And let me get just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. So what I want you to think of is, wait a minute. Okay, Luna, don't go overboard, just a tiny bit. This is going to give you the energy to let this go, all right? So I want you to think of, well, what you're going to do with this paper is burn it. And burn it like gone. So you can take it outside if you have a fire. If you have a fireplace inside a fire pit, you can burn it in a bowl that's like metal or stone. I wouldn't even use Pyrex, because sometimes if you get a real hot spot in even, oven-safe glass, it can break it. So stone, metal, those are your best bets. Not wooden, obviously, no salad bowls. But then once it's done, you want to take the ash outside and put it on the ground. You want to, or even more effectively, actually bury the ash. But when that paper goes into the fire, this is what I want you to imagine. I want you to imagine just that act of purging, that act of burning. You're saying goodbye, and that act itself is going to purify. It's going to leave a space. So this is the thing that's you're going to think about, purifying the space behind it. So there is a fitting space for something new to come in. Ready? Let's see how it does, because the charcoal was getting a little low. Here it goes. So that was just a little bit. I'm going to put it right under the camera here. And we're going to do a little bit more, because I'm a pyromaniac and I like to burn things. All right. Ready? We'll do it 3 times. Here's another purification. That's what I'm talking about. That right there is what I'm after. And one more. Third time pays for all. This stuff practically puts up a mushroom cloud. It's awesome. You can make Vesta powder with equal parts of sodium nitrate and powdered sugar. And the powdered sugar puts up a wonderful white cloud. So I'm sure you can do other things. Uh-oh. Hang on. Vesta powder. Usually we don't have the smoke alarm hanging in the bedroom. Shh, don't tell anybody that, but usually we don't. So, woohoo! Okay, let me catch up here. Tickles to Darcy and Marcy. Baby Joe, Catherine, and Sherry, and Laura, and tickles to Tavia. Yes, a cauldron is a perfect thing to burn it in. I have my giant cauldron. So when I was preparing for tonight, I was thinking, what kind of table could I put behind me? I wanted to put my big cauldron and get dry ice and all that stuff. And then I woke up. Burn it in a jack-o'-lantern. That's an excellent idea, Samantha. Hoo-hoo. Becca, that's hilarious. Flaming pop rocks. Yes, exactly. I know. Hilarious. I will say, and I do not say this in, inordinate pride. Wait a minute. My robe is caught in the wheels of my chair. But I will say that in all the rituals we did at Mother Drum, and we had some, I used to say it's not one of my rituals unless it's fraught with danger. We never caught anything on fire. We never hurt anybody. We never, I don't remember if we broke anything big or, important, but yeah, it was good stuff. Good stuff. The only, okay, tickle, 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 Samantha. Laura. Oh my goodness. Well, you better believe the spirit world is awake now too. Everybody's listening, and I don't know if you can see. There's kind of a haze in the room from the smoke. See, I would have gotten away with the first two, but Luna has to go over the top. Yep. Good. Serenka burned the paper. All right. So now let's go on and look at. Let's go to our Samhain Oracle. And let's talk to this oracle about what okay, I'm tempting fate again because I want a little bit of, since the charcoal's really low, I've got little bits of sugar all over the table here. So the Samhain oracle. Okay, wait a minute. Darcy provided the danger at Mother Drum. Here, Samantha's guides are so chuckling with my guides. Now they're all getting on my last nerves. Our spirit guides are doing Tai Chi. Awesome. Well, what was this oracle talking about? Laughter. Knowledge and laughter. That oak, the hag of the oak grove, is cackling. Cackling. Are your bellies wobbling with laughter? Let them be soft and wobbly tonight. All right. I would like to ask the Samhain oracle now about the other side, about the blessings coming in. So I want you to think about your other paper, which is, here is what I'm going to manifest. So when we projected ourselves forward that month and looked at what we had accomplished, this is what you're going to put on this paper. This is your intention. This is your spell. It's what you want to bring in. It's what you want to unblock. It's already in you. If you want to do a spell and you want it really bad, it's already in you, or there wouldn't be anything wanting. So what we're doing is putting what's in the way in the grave so it can go away, and then what's waiting to be revealed moves in and fills that void. So I want to know about the thing that we're going to fill the void with. And what we're going to do with that piece of paper is you're going to burn that as well. But I want you, and you can burn it in the bowl, the cauldron, whatever you have. Make sure you clean out, the last paper. If you burned the last paper, clean all that out. And then you're going to burn this paper, and you're going to take a little bit of the ash. I do not tell you to use all of the ash in this, just a pinch. And you are going to put that in something to drink, in a libation, and you are going to drink it in. So this is what you are unveiling from within you and drinking it into your system, into your body, so that you can embody. So tell us about this. All right, she wants to come out. Rooted. May you never tear the living ritual that is magic merged within the roots of your being, the soil of your soul. Do we have card numbers here? Oh, dearie. Hold on. This one's called Rooted. For 142. Okay. They made that a little difficult. All right. I may have to use my little cheat light here. I don't have to struggle anymore. We are often told to start with building intuition, which is undoubtedly true. Never underestimate the power of working with the spirit. You need to learn to ground the spiritual information into your physical life. To be flighty is to connect to spirit, but to be rooted is to become a channel for spirit. Amen and hallelujah. If you want to do magic, you've got to start by being fully in your body and rooted. Otherwise, you're going to get lost. And you won't be able to bring things back. You'll just kind of, go off in trance and dream and not be able to bring it back. This is the difference between the dreams that they're really vivid and then you wake up and it's gone, and the dreams that you retain and that you can bring to the conscious side of things. All right. You become a vessel that allows the divine intelligence to spread its wisdom here on earth. A more familiar word is manifestation. Being grounded is about being present and aware of how things make you feel. You have to feel into your body. This card is called Feeling Flesh. Okay. You are being asked to dig in deeper. Maintaining deep roots, like that oak tree, is how you pull yourself from the darkness. It's easy to get grounded or to do your spiritual practice when things are going well. It's an entirely different ballgame when you feel defeated and broken. But the darkest parts of your journey are when you need to be rooted most. The real gift of spiritual commitment is found when you feel like your back is against a wall. Yeah. Boy, howdy. Don't give up when times are hard. Instead, find nourishment below the surface. Hold on. Find your connection to your true self, your ancestors, your guides, your trust, and your instincts. Your situation is not hard so that you can give up. It is a call to surrender to your practice. This message is amplified if you've also pulled ancestors or crystals and herbs. Okay. So we started off talking about orphan dreams. And this is carrying on that conversation and reminding us that when things are the shittiest is when we get to find out what we're made of and how deep our spiritual roots go. Over many, many years of teaching meditation and teaching, spirituality and ritual and stuff like that, I've always said, it's very easy to meditate when the phone doesn't ring and the temperature is just perfect, and my back doesn't hurt, and my tummy's full, and I don't have a headache. Everything, when everything's great, meditation is easy. And we can get addicted to that. The Buddhists, the Tibetan Buddhists, talk about those magical times when you meditate and these wonders are unfolding before you. Those are not seen as positive things. Those are distractions. Those are enticements that can pull you away from your body. And you can kind of get hooked on chasing. It's another form of attachment, chasing that magical feeling. But the last part of meditation is easy when everything is fine, is The reason you practice when everything is fine is so that state is accessible to you when the shit hits the fan. When everything goes wild, when you're going into a tailspin, that's when you, as they say, surrender to your practice. Your practice is your root system. The things that you do, the prayers that you speak, the old stuff, the stuff you've done again and again and again and again, that may feel old hat to the point where I don't even do that anymore. I've done it so many times, but the doing of it keeps it alive and easily accessible when you need to reach for it. So, what it has to tell us about the blessing that we want to bring in is that we have to start from the body. And I'm going to go back here. Just want to look at the things that jumped out at me. Becoming a channel for spirit and a channel to manifest. Manifest means bringing energy through your body. There are things that we, spells that we do that manifest things that come to us externally as well. But if there's something you want to create and you visualize it, you can see it in your mind, you're thinking about process, and it's like, okay, and do the spell to make this manifest. If all you do is the spell, what's going to happen? Nothing. Goose egg. It has to come through your body in some way. Writing it, speaking it, dancing it, traveling somewhere, building it, sculpting it, painting it, carving it. It has to come through your body. Manifestation is body. It's earth. Okay. And the more firmly rooted we are in that, the more easily we can manifest. We can clothe our energies in earth, and so we can put our hand to them. We can see it. Okay. I want to catch up with some messages. Intuition and Broom. Yeah, it's a great oracle. Oh, Becca, you got the ancestors yesterday. Well, heck yeah. Wow. My great-grandfather took my hand from his chair. You're the first one in our family to know that we're still here. Oh. Amazing. How happy have you made your ancestors? I talk about when you do your healing work, it heals your ancestors as well. And think about, what it's like for them watching you and loving you and everything, where it's never reciprocated. It's never given back to them. Maybe love, but not directly, not in a way that acknowledges their actual presence. So what a gift you give them. Oh, I bet, Beck. Say which line again? Samantha? Okay, you guys have to know that the messages come through to me, that there's at least a 20-second lag between me shooting and when you get it. So if you hear it and then you put a thing out right then, I'm already 20 seconds past that and I don't know what you're talking about. So Samantha, what line was that you wanted me to say again, dear? And was it from this book, or was it just out of my mouth? You'll have to rewind and look. Okay. Line about being... Okay. The line about being rooted means becoming a channel for spirit. Yes. All right, let me find it, Sam. It says, to be flighty is to connect to spirit, but to be rooted is to become a channel for spirit. Because where's the channel? You have to open the channel in your body. You have to be rooted in your body in order to open that channel. If you're being flighty, you can kind of like reach out with your mind or your spirit and connect up there, but to really become a channel, you got to be in the body. Okay. painting your manifestation. Yay, Serenka. Yes, art, I mean, right brain. That's where where art and poetry comes from, right? All right. I am going to no, I'm just going to keep you over here. Now, oh, I have something to show you. This is my newest little beading. Ain't it cute? I did one and the body wasn't quite right. And then I did this one. And I hope you can tell that the tail kind of starts here and it goes up and then it curls around. So these are my new babies, and I had to make her with just the beads that I have left. But tomorrow is payday, and I'm going to buy beads. Manifest! Manifest! I'm so excited. I can't wait. Okay, Sam. That's hilarious. I got my little kitty. Okay. Now, I think that... drinking something else. One of the decks I got out was Dark Mirror. I don't think we're going there because we're just looking at what we're ready to get rid of. The processing of that will happen in its own time. We don't need to dwell there. But the one I want to bring out is the Trick or Treat Tarot. This is an amazing deck. Yes, it's beaded, so I have been, just coming up with patterns and, oh, here, I'd like to do this, and I sit down and sketch it out on the paper, but I can't really tell what it's going to look like until I sew it because, or weave it, I guess is the proper term, because I'm using double brick stitch. Let's see if I can get it to pop in. Come on. I think it's seeing through the kitty. Here he comes. Come on, pop in. Here we go. Almost. So there are rows where there are two beads stacked on top of each other, and then there are rows where it's just single. And switching between the two gives me control over how the body shapes. But since my pattern paper is only single or double brick stitch, I cannot draw it on paper before I weave it. Okay, this card that wanted to stay down on the table when I picked up the deck was Strength. So I'm going to move this back. Have a little bit more room. Scooching my oak leaves back a little bit. So we're going to put Strength up in the center there. And ask the Trick or Treat Tarot what it would like to talk to us about. Yes, I do, Marcy, need to make a black kitty, but I didn't have any black beads. So I'm ordering beads tomorrow. I had to use whatever beads I had left, and they were white ones. So yes, I'm going to make a whole bunch of kitties, and I'm ordering beads with various colors of orange and gray and all kinds of stuff. And pink for their little noses. This one I didn't put a nose on. This was the first iteration of him, and I used these beads that are weird. They're black, silver lined, but they don't look black. They kind of look like greeny. But here he is, and he's got a little nose. And when I was weaving the white one, I forgot his nose, and I was past it before I realized my mistake, and I wasn't going to pull things out. But he does have little pink ears. I don't know if you can tell. Oh well. We'll let the kitties sit there together. They're the kitties. Okay. All right. So, I'm buying like Toho beads. I have a lot of seed beads, but they're cheap seed beads, and I'm not doing cheap beads anymore. They're two different sizes. So I'm going exclusively with Toho because if you buy from one manufacturer, you're going to get the most consistency. Okay, here we go. So, we've got 10 of Wands there, 5 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. Okay. So what is our strength going into the dark part of the year? Well, Ten of Wands talks about unburdening ourselves, unoppressing ourselves. So when we are putting these dreams, these orphan dreams, these abandoned dreams, these dreams that we know better now aren't going to work for us, when we are putting them into the grave, we are unburdening ourselves from, you know, those negative messages we were talking about. I failed to do this. I don't have what it takes. I'm really, you know, our culture from very, very early on, when we're in grade school, starts to sell us this idea of your one big thing. You know, that what are you going to do when you grow up? And you're going to go to college for that one thing, and then do that one thing the rest of your life. And it has set up so many people for feeling like failures, for having to change at, you know, an inopportune time of life when they realize they're absolutely miserable where they are. We must let dreams live and breathe, and we must let them be editable, and we must allow ourselves to change, because remember, the person with the greatest capacity for change wins. So the Ten of Wands reversed here says we have to unburden ourselves from all this creative pressure. It's wands. The creative pressure of carrying dreams that maybe we had in the first place because they were the orphan dreams of one of our parents, of an ancestor. You don't have to have known that ancestor personally to come in with, you know, a kind of a burden that doesn't belong to you. So that's something to think about. So our strength here, how we tame this beast, because the strength card in this deck is Beauty and the Beast. How we tame this beast is through unburdening ourselves, realizing that the beast is, you know, there because we feed it. And we can unburden. And then the Five of Wands talks about getting your ducks in a row. I'm going to go to the book on this because the book is amazing. She adds so much wonderful layers, so many wonderful layers in this deck. Okay. Yes, physical exhaustion, oppression, tyranny, and subjugation. Let's go to the Five of Wands. Forget bobbing for apples. These party guests are in the mood for something more active. These kids competing for the treats inside the tarantula might need to employ some tricks. Let's hope they are careful with those sticks or someone might get hurt. Maybe after a lot of flailing around, they might realize that they could open that spider sooner if they worked together. So this right away is talking to me about not necessarily working with someone else, but working with the conditions that you're given, working within the resources that you have now. Recognizing that you're not doomed to be there forever. That's why you're doing the spell work, but to work within your context rather than swimming against the current, you know? So find a way to, this is the magical ninja thing. What is the prevailing energy going on? How can you turn that energy to your advantage? How can you use its momentum rather than trying to push against and stop its momentum? Bless you. When this card comes up, you'll be facing some competition. It's not a game with rules, a clear winner, and a prize, though. If you play it like that, you might sharpen some skills, but if played differently, you could get so much more. You see, this is about a bunch of egos all bumping up against each other instead of humans working together for a common goal. There's an opportunity here to become a leader and a problem solver. Try to look at the big picture, understand the other players, and find something to unite the group so they stop wasting energy. Competition, conflict, debate, group efforts, committees, strong personalities, differing opinions, no shared goal, lack of leadership. Those meanings, this is a Barbara Moore deck, those meanings are exquisite. So look at where things are working at cross purposes and how you, with your awareness and your consciousness, might be the one to lead people out of that situation and into alignment toward a common goal. The next one is Six of Pentacles. We always talk about money that's not worked for. Oh, and you know what I forgot about with this deck? This deck came with 2 Three of Pentacles cards. So I have one tucked in the back. And I need to say thank you again to Roxanne for this amazingly wonderful deck. I am so blessed, you guys. I am so blessed by you. Okay, Six of Pentacles. So we have the guy handing out candy. You see what's going on here, right? The werewolf has decided that the kid in street clothes doesn't get any candy. Them's the rules. No costume, no candy. The leopard knows this. The werewolf knows this. Probably the poor kid knows it too, but thought he'd try anyhow and see if there's such a thing as Halloween mercy. At this house, nope. They are fresh out. When this card comes up, someone is handing out gifts. Some will benefit and some won't. If you need some sort of financial help or other resources, they are potentially available to you. However, they won't just fall into your lap. There's work to be done. It's probably not a costume requirement, although you never know, but an application or presentation. Do your best to meet the requirements, obviously. If you are the one with the treats to pass out, have as much mercy and generosity as possible. You don't know everyone's story, and probably they're doing the best they can. Charity, fairness, gift, donation, loan, sharing the wealth, asking for help. Asking for help, the hardest thing for most women to do. And the last card is the High Priestess. And I think I should read Strength too. Let's go back and read her. Putting on costumes is fun. It can also be useful if it helps you tap into a new part of yourself. Come as you're not night. It is an interesting idea that by donning a mask, we unmask a part of ourselves. Is this beauty and this beast? Is this beauty and this beast playing parts or revealing truths? Perhaps both. The beast's heart is broken, and what takes more strength than healing such a delicate treasure? When this card comes up, great strength is needed, obviously. This card also contains a lesson about strength. Does it require more strength to bash something to smithereens or sensitively put something back together? Brute force may be the fuel of strength, but discipline is necessary for the controlled application of that strength. Even when the challenge is controlling your own base instincts, gentle strength will facilitate healing, providing a long-term solution. Turning on yourself or others with hatred or angry strength will only make the problem worse. Angry strength, I was thinking about that. The brute strength usually comes from a place of too much energy, anger, rah, out of control. Courage is part of true strength. This situation will also require you to bravely face something you'd rather not see. Real courage is not the lack of fear. It is being afraid and doing it anyway, because without fear, there is no courage. So, the things that you want to put into the grave, the things that are waning, be brave. Be brave enough to name what it is that it's time to let go of, and to put it into that grave and face that void that comes afterwards. Trusting, having faith that the working you're going to do will fill that void, but there's going to be a gap there before the void is filled. So you have to have strength within yourself to be in that not knowing place, that liminal place, right? Okay, High Priestess. Everyone knows that around Halloween, the veil between the worlds is thin. This means that it is an ideal time to ask for messages from the spirit world. Our fortune teller is ready with the tools of her trade to help all seekers find answers to their most pressing questions. Hi there. She can't guarantee happy answers, so be careful what you ask. Whatever you do, don't eat any pomegranate seeds or you might end up on the wrong side of the veil. Like the dark and light curtains in the image, the High Priestess suggests contradictory experiences, either insight or mystery. When this card comes up, you're being told one of two things. Either you already know the answer to your question deep down and you are not, or you are not meant to know. If you already know, she isn't going to make it easy for you. You'll have to acknowledge your own truth. If you don't know, then the situation is an opportunity to learn. The lesson is one that cannot be explained with words. That's mystery. You must go through it, doing the best you can, using what you already know, and discover the wisdom for yourself. This is what happens after we release the orphan dreams and before we manifest what's coming to take its place. This is where we are, in this high priestess place of being wise and not knowing and being okay with that, which relates back to the strength card, the self-control of being able to be in doubt and uncertainty without any strenuous reaching after truth and fact and certainty. Secrets, mysteries, silence, wisdom, intuition, insight, subconscious. So yes, you, the priestess that you are, knows this journey well and carries the mystery within her. So it's easier to just kind of sit back and trust on the goddess's timing. Place your trust in the goddess and her timing, knowing that it will be perfect. And this is one of the things you're going to visualize when you're looking, visualizing that outcome, is just the feeling when it arrives and you're like, here, and then that feeling immediately of, wow, that was perfect timing. That was perfect timing. Visualize that feeling of what you are creating arriving for you. Okay, I am going to read messages now. Hi, Rhonda. Very happy to have you here. I'm assuming you're from Ireland. I don't know. Yes, I'm going to give the kitty a nose. Sneeze on Monday, make a wish. That was Tam sneezing. Asking for help, but allowing yourself to receive it. And asking for help is it's a very kind of nuanced thing. You need to be able to ask specifically for what you need. And we need to make sure that we're asking people that can actually help us with that thing. So asking the right person. And asking someone that we know will be able to help us in the way that we need and not just in the way that they need to do it. My dad used to be an awful one to ask for help because he refused. He was an Aquarius. He refused to do it anyway, but the way he was going to do it, he fucked up things for me. I would ask him to help do it, but he was just, I'm going to help. And here's, he had an idea in his head, no shifting it. He was going to help the way he was going to help. And, just one example is putting dishes away. I would say, it's great. If you want to do some dishes, that's great. Please don't put them away. We'll put them away. We know where things go. Hell of a time finding things because he was determined to put them away because that's helping, and he would just put them where he thought made sense, and I couldn't find a goddamn thing. Yeah. Okay. Ireland is your maiden name. Oh, okay. Kiros. It's a beautiful name. Hello in Phoenix. Oh, poor thing in Arizona. Oh. And yes, allowing yourself to receive. I used to work with a woman when I was in my early 20s and just a, hot, toxic mess. And whenever I would get a compliment, she'd compliment me on something and I'd say, start minimizing and do blah, blah, blah. And she'd say, Lisa, smile and say thank you. And so I learned that. I had to practice it. Just say thank you and let it go. Stop minimizing yourself. Okay. Yeah, Key Rose is a beautiful name. It is very magical, Davy. I agree. Yay. Oh, well, you know what? This, fortunately, is not about talent. It's about a pattern and following a pattern. And you do things in a certain way, and anybody can do those things. Anybody that does this the same way I did is going to get the same result. So it's not like painting and, singing or something where you either got it or you don't. And people can do these things. So, okay. Yes, more cyber snacks. Digital apple cider. Yes, Sarenka, union of perfect halves. Actually, it is a union of two perfect wholes. A woman is not half, a man is not half. And relationship-wise, it's not two half people that make a whole, it's two whole people that create a third thing, which is the relationship. That's what is born. I wish I was talented. Yep, you have your own talent. And like I said, it's a skill. This is a skill. I started beading at the beginning of September. And I learned the skill, and there was a lot of swearing along the way, and there still is. There are times when you pick up the beads to do it, and everything goes wrong, and the thread's tangling everywhere, and it's just a struggle the whole way. And then there's a time where you pick it up, and everything just flows. There are great videos on YouTube that tell you exactly what you need, and what's wonderful about these videos, my ADHD loves it. I think my autism loves it too, but there's no talking. There will be nice music, and you see close-up hands doing the thing, and they're very careful to show you exactly what's happening. So you could sit and buy the materials and just follow one of these videos and come out with what they made. I'm telling you, it's true. Yes, Sarenka, thank you. That is very lovely. To go all grandma on you for a moment. That's right. Do not cut yourself down. You are talented. You just need to uncover what it is. And now, I would like to gather up, because I don't think I need, I don't think I need any more decks. I think we've gotten abundant messages tonight, which I'm very grateful for, and I think it is time for feasting. So what I have is a piece of apple dapple cake. Oh my God. So in ritual, when you do your working, and I'm assuming that you guys are going to do the second burning of the paper like later, but if you're doing it now, you can do it now and complete that work, and then just blow it out of your mind. Don't think about it. You've done the work. And on a Sabbath, like Samhain, and I mean, I love it that this is actual Samhain. On a Sabbath, the work is easy. You don't have to work for it. It's the magic is there. The death magic is there. We are just riding that train. Okay? So, feasting. A little bit of brandy. This is apple dapple cake, and it's the most beautiful, delicious cake. No spices in it at all, and it's just so good. The thing that was weird, though, is of course you use apples in it. Couldn't taste the apples in this, but still tastes fabulous. So, may you never hunger. I offer you this Samhain cake. May you be well fed and have a full belly, and may the food you eat delight your senses. Oh my God. Oh, Sedona and Jerome, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Tiffany, welcome. Your first Samhain. Welcome. Blessed be. Blessed Samhain to you. Oh God, this cake is so good. So it's baked in a bundt pan, and it makes this frickin' delicious like crust on it. But what you do when you take the cake out of the oven, and I poke holes in it for this. You're not supposed to, but I do. You make a caramel sauce, brown sugar and butter, a little bit of milk, and let it boil. I add half a cup of brandy, and then you pour it on the cake while it's hot and let it sit till it completely cools before you take it out of the pan. So you get these wonderful pockets of caramel and brandy. Shut up. So good. All right, I'm going to chew and read. Creative writing is an amazing thing. Eating a lemon bar, yeah, baby. Pumpkin soup, yeah. Yes, it's the most powerful of the year. Apple cider tea. Apple cake, yeah, baby. All right. Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. The brandy. You know, when they said make the sauce, it's like, what? No booze? Are you kidding? Oops. Um, we did. I just dropped a big chunk. I don't know where it went. We did, of course, our ancestor plate. On Saturday, we had our family Samhain. Um, I put the ancestor plate out there, and it had um, roast pork and roast vegetables and apple dapple cake and pumpkin bread and some rye bread that we baked. What else was on there? I forget. Some chili. Everything was eaten except the vegetables. The animals are like, fuck this, it's Halloween. I didn't eat no damn vegetables. So, but they accepted the rest of the offering. Mm-hmm. Vegan peanut butter chocolate ice cream bar. Yeah, baby. Not seasonal, but delish nonetheless. Who cares? Who cares? Actually, Becca, you know, the time for ice cream used to be Christmas. People couldn't make ice cream. You know, when they didn't have people didn't have ice boxes and stuff. Ice cream was a Christmas treat. You got a hold of some ice and you made your own. I remember my mom talking about having ice cream at Christmas. So, you're seasonal. Yes, absolutely, Samantha. Bourbon and Cherry Garcia. Yeah, yeah. Ooh. This was always my favorite part of ritual, where we would relax, pass the chalice around. Cheers. And laugh and dance and party. So, are you guys still talking Sedona? Well, unfortunately, my experience with Arizona was a month in Tucson between the middle of July and the middle of August. It was hell. Literally hell. So, yeah. I love Barbara Moore decks. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, amazing. Getting just in time for a road trip. Well, you know what? Our car just got the whole front end rebuilt, so we have a safe little Aria. She's such a champ. She's got 150 some thousand miles on her now, but she's a good one, and she's now ready to rock again. So, yes, the guidebooks do rock with Barbara Moore. All right, you guys. Well, I hope that I'm going to put the scrying mirror back up there again. I'm going to toddle off here because it's going to be time to go downstairs and start really playing in earnest, because midnight approacheth. What time is it now? It is 9:14. All right, we got some time to go. Maybe I could get in an hour and a half nap. We don't have to be up at midnight. I will be. I'm always up at midnight. But tonight I shall be scrying rather than watching Buffy. Buffy comes later. Thank you all so much for being here and hanging out with me. And for the support that you give my channel, thank you so much to Catherine and Roxanne and Tavia and Becca and Natalie. Is it Natalie? Yes, my patrons. Thank you so much for the support that you give to me. So, if you don't want to join my Patreon, but you'd like to support the channel, there's a couple links down below where you can send me a couple bucks. Nothing is ever too small. And on Samhain, there's special blessings that come with it. So I thank you and I bless you for all the gifts you give me. And Roxanne, again, thank you for that deck. It's amazing. All right, I got to scroll back as I see the messages flying past. The red rocks. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you can't go in the summer. I can tell you it's not fun. Okay, how did I get back? All right. My ancestors got buttery rice, keel bass, peppers, onions, kielbasa. Okay, was it keel bass? What's that? Kielbasa, peppers, onions, mushrooms, tomato, green apple, freshwater, peppermint tea. Woo, baby! They're gonna be happy. Happy, happy. Catherine, did I mention Catherine and my patrons? Thank you so much. Brightest blessings to all of you. May you enjoy this incredible magic at this time of year. I also want to tell you that the midpoint of Samhain, you know, the actual astrological Samhain, is next Monday on November 7th. That is when the sun hits 14 degrees of the sign, which is the halfway point. Starts at 0. So 14 degrees next Monday. So you've got this whole week. So we've kicked it off tonight. Spend this whole week thinking about and writing about and building, and then you've got that full moon to do another big energy raising and blow off all that spell work that you've done. Spend this week honing it, getting the details right, feeling the feelings, just creating that picture. And it's okay if you also get it all done tonight too. It's all up to you. I'm just saying that you got plenty of time. Plenty of time to work with. Okay. Yes. Samhain and Beltane blessings for Natalie and Marcy. Thank you so much for being here with us to balance us on that wheel. Dark, impenetrable fortress. Is that what Darcy means? Holy shit, darling. Dark and impenetrable is not what I would think of you, my love. All right, everybody. Laura, thank you. Samantha. Stephanie, thank you, darling. Yep, watch the replay. Rhonda, Tiffany, Serenka, Catherine, Roxanne, Becca, Tavia, thank you so much. Rhonda, everybody, if I'm saying your name twice, you just more blessings. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Please hit the like button on your way out and share this with anybody that you think might get something from it. I appreciate that. I do plan on being here Wednesday again for our regular old live stream. Until then, I love you guys. I love you. You count to me. I'm so grateful for you. Samhain blessings. Blessed be.